Hey everybody, welcome. This is Activities Across Grade Levels, and today we're looking at fun feedback. Ooh, fun feedback. See what I did with that slide? Kind of cool, huh? All right, so what we are looking at today, by the way, is not merely a bunch of good ideas. We're also winding it down. This is our 36th and final episode of Activities Across Grade Levels. So we hope that you will find this valuable and that you will take a look on our archives page and just go to town on any of the content there that might be of value to you and your kiddos. So with that, we thank you for watching any of these episodes. We hope that we're sharing ideas that end up helping a lot of kids go, ooh, I can do this. You know, moments like that we think are why we all get into teaching. My little nonprofit is the entity that runs this stuff. It's called Next Vista for Learning. What's that? That is an online library of videos by and for teachers and students everywhere, free to use, free to contribute to, free to download from, all for a student audience, all screened content. My own little attempt to save the universe from ignorance, one creative video at a time. And I hope you'll spend some time at nextvista.org because we have videos about different things that people encounter in school and communities around the world, and service to others, and careers, and advice for teens, and learning the English language. We've got over 600 videos, little videos that are designed to help kids who are learning their English. Stay in touch if that's stuff that you want to talk more about. And we got our contest going on. We've still got plenty of time to enter our creative recovery and service contests for this semester. We hope you will give that a good look. As always, if you go to nextvista.org/contact, you can ask about any of this material. We're happy to share. Thanks goes out to the Krause Center for Innovation and the Merit Program and all the good they've been doing for decades, getting teachers to learn to use technology in innovative ways to help kids see new possibilities in themselves. Say that fast. And the new program called ELLIE, Emerging Leaders in Learning Innovation, which I will be leading. Woo! All right, and so that's launching soon for people who have completed Merit, which is a great program. Feel free to ask about that if you would. We want to send a big thanks out to Fowler Unified School District and all of the cool things that are happening for the community there. We especially are grateful for Susan's time and all of the different things that she has added to helping folks see lots and lots of cool learning options as a part of this webinar. Thanks also to Richard Byrne of Free Tech for Teachers, who helps us get the word out on these things, and with whom I do the Two EdTech Guys Take Questions and Share Cool Stuff webinar. You probably don't need to ask what that one's about. All right, so who are we? Well, Susan, start us off.
Hi friends, my name is Susan Stewart. I'm an instructional technology teacher on special assignment. I'm a tech coach from Central California. Before that role as tech coach, I spent 14 years teaching kindergarten and second grade. I am a mom of 3 and a big fan of sharing with teachers everywhere. So I've really enjoyed this opportunity to run this series with Rushton.
Right, and my name is Rushton. And what I do is I run this little nonprofit, but before that, I was a principal of an online high school. Before that, principal of a K-12 school. Before that, a high school teacher of Japanese language. And all of those jobs have been kind of fun. Some more than others, some days more than others. But you know, that's how a lot of life works. So what we are doing today is jumping into how this works. As we always do, we take an idea and then we talk about it from the standpoint of how does this look for K-2? How does this look for grades 3 to 5? How does this look for middle school? How does this look for high school? So we will jump into the young learners first. I will stop sharing so that we can have Susan drive, because she is ready and raring to go with ideas for the young crowd. Susan, I put it in your hands.
There we go. Hopefully you can see my screen and we'll get started, because of course we're talking about feedback and we want some fun feedback. Feedback, of course, you know, being a way we can continue the learning and have students grow, you know, through what they're doing. So just talking about feedback and young learners, what are some ways we might do that? So of course, if you've ever met me, I'm going to start with one of my favorite tools, and that is Seesaw. Seesaw has lots of fun opportunities for providing students, especially our young students, feedback that they can access. That's a big deal when you're talking about young learners, is giving that feedback in a way that they can receive it. If we type out sentences or write down words, what does that do to help students who may be pre-literate. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into Seesaw and show a couple of ways that we can use video and audio feedback with our young learners. And this is an example from a task I had the other day. I had the fun task of shadowing a kindergarten virtual class for the day. And this particular student had provided his oral retelling of his journal for the day. They were learning about koalas. He drew his picture, took a photo, he posted it on Seesaw where he got to read it. And then the best part of this for me now is that the teacher is able to leave that feedback. So as I play this, and actually, let me make sure you can hear this. Let me go ahead and hit play, Rushton. Tell me if you can hear this one. Okay.
Wow, Sebastian, that was a lot of information about koalas. Just make sure to include spaces between those words because it will make it easier when you go back to read your sentence. Good job.
So just in doing that, you see that the student was able to do his recording, but even better, that teacher was able to leave some feedback. And that's fun and again, accessible for those teeny tinies, which we know may not be able to read. If she had typed out that exact same comment, he wouldn't be able to take it in the way he could here. I'm going to show another way we can use Seesaw to leave feedback, and I'm going to go into another student over here. This one happens to be my own child. So here we'll go leave my human child some feedback about some of his work there. And you can see the teacher uses Seesaw regularly to have the students create and record. But if I wanted to give him some feedback here, one thing I can do in the Seesaw classroom is I can actually leave a quick video for him right on top of his work. So when I go ahead into the Seesaw tools and I choose the one that says video, you'll see once I give it permission, and this is what's happening. On my MacBook, it works a little different, but at that point, I'd be able to record a quick video, much like you do on like a Flipgrid or other things, and I can leave a little video for him right here. And you can see a screenshot of that on this example. You can see how a teeny tiny video will embed right on the work. So directly in the Seesaw program, I'm able to leave that quick little video right in the work. And so the students not just get the audio feedback, but they actually get the feedback of the teacher sharing whatever it is. If it was something constructive, or maybe it was something just like a wow, whatever feedback the teacher has. Lots of fun and accessible for the little ones there. Continuing on, we want to make sure that even with our young learners, we're really encouraging that idea of peer feedback as well. By using a tool like Seesaw, it puts it in a public space where those public with their classmates. That means their audience has grown. The audience can go to include those classmates, and their audience can also include their family. So that's another great way that we can use Seesaw for feedback, because family get to see it and leave their feedback, whether that be through audio or video comments or simply just that little heart button. But I love the example on the right, because what's going on there is the student has created a small little video recording with a book story, a book commercial, and her friends started leaving feedback. And one says, "I love your book commercial." And another says, "What do you think the central message is?" So just the fact that we're teaching kids and giving them that space to provide feedback for each other, Seesaw really facilitates that. It's quick, easy, and students can do it right there on the work on the screen. As we continue on though, and especially talking about peer feedback, that's not something that comes natural to kids, and that's something they have to be trained to do. So in the upper elementary, and with our younger learners too, but with our upper elementary, we really try to use the tag model for giving feedback to peers. We've probably heard of the compliment sandwich, right? As an adult, we've heard that idea that you say something nice and then you squeeze the growth there in the middle. And I don't know if that's always the best thing, right? But you want to make sure that when you do provide feedback, that it's productive and constructive. We want our kids to be able to give feedback to each other that goes beyond "good job," right? We want to make sure that it's good, positive feedback. So we use this tag model that starts with T, tell me something you liked. And then it grows on there, like, I liked how you sorted your pictures, ask a question. What does that look like? How did, who did, why didn't, what did you mean by? So something to clarify, and then give a suggestion. And a lot of times we'll say, use, I wonder how it would look, or I wonder what would happen. Maybe you could try. So that tag model of feedback, giving them those structures so that they know that when they're giving feedback, it's not just hitting the, "Oh, you did this wrong," or "You did this wrong," but really trying to give them a nice, well-rounded opportunity and structured way. Because if we don't provide those sentence frames, we can't just assume kids know how to give feedback. So, but it's a lot of fun to get feedback from your peers. I've noticed that peer feedback is useful because it gives students that like lens, I'm going to be evaluating your work now, it really helps them kick up their own work a little bit too, because they know that their peers are going to be seeing it. Their audience has gone beyond their teacher, and it just really elevates the work all around. And it's fun. It's fun. And of course, if you've met me once or twice, you know that my favorite way to give feedback is with a Bitmoji. Nothing like a good Bitmoji to customize some feedback. So one thing I want to do on this next slide here is I'm using the Bitmoji extension, right? The Bitmoji extension allows me to customize feedback, and I want to give Rushton some feedback on this slide he made. So what I'll do is I'll go up to my Bitmoji extension here, and I can customize what I want this to say. I'm going to go ahead and start here, and I always have this issue when I'm on a different computer. Here's me having all those different computer issues going on. When I load this up, I'm just going to warn you guys, just preface, sometimes the Bitmoji isn't always doing the most appropriate thing. So just going to put that out there. But I'm just going to say, way to go, Rushton. Right, and I can go ahead and give that custom feedback there. And so I can drag that and put it into Rushton's work. So if these were some Google Slides that Rushton had created, or a piece of work that Rushton created, I could give him this custom feedback. But even more so, I can give him some constructive feedback as well. She looks a little bit wackadoo there, but I'm gonna go ahead and do another one. If this was a piece of work he was doing, and I could say, add a period, right? I might do that, and you can see that I can customize that feedback. So for whatever it is I want to do, I can drop that custom feedback into Rushton's work. So if I'm wanting to get creative with something, or be silly, be positive or constructive, a good fun way to give feedback is with those custom stickers. It's like we're sticking a sticker on their work, but it's customized and it's personalized for our learners. So those are just a couple of fun ways we might give those upper elementary kids, and maybe kids of all ages, some work and some feedback on their work.
All right, great stuff. Thank you very much, Susan. So now we're kind of in that space of talking about middle school and kind of where
I don't think
kids...
I can hear you, Rushton. Is that just me?
Let's see. Can you hear me? I think it may just be you. Let me check with the chat real quick. Sometime, this is actually the right thing.
We're good. We're good.
Looks like it's going out there. So at any rate, tech stuff happens all the time. All right. So when we're talking about the middle schoolers, let's first say that when we want them to be able to work with feedback, Susan said it perfectly. They're not practiced in giving each other tactful, constructive feedback. They're just not, right? And so if you're going to start somewhere, start with stuff that other people created, students whom they do not know. All right, and so I will have in the links document a little doc that has all of these different student created videos in it. And the idea is to have, there's about 24 of them, right? And the idea is to have all of these different kinds of videos. Now they're all student created edu videos, as we call them, but some are stop motion, some are a little different in this way or that way. There's just kind of a lot of different ways that you can put together a video. And so giving students the chance to see a lot of different videos and to talk about, well, I like this for this reason. I thought this was kind of weak for that reason. So learning how to talk about it and saying to the students, all right, good. And if you were telling somebody in face to face with masks that you wanted to share this idea with them, what would be like the nicest way to say that? That practice is important for the kids as they begin to think about this. I think way down in the set, you'll find the video on our site that's titled Volleyball, the Right Way versus the Zombie Way. Kids always choose that one as one of their 3 to look at. And I mean, why not? Zombies, right? So we will get you that link as well. You find it always on our archive page for the show. There's the video, the recording, but above it, there's the link to the slides and link to the links. So we will get that for you. And then, just having them start with certain kinds of sentence starters. It's the same kind of thing we talked about a little bit earlier, as Susan was describing this with the shorter kiddos, right? Typically, the coolest thing I see in this is, so one very interesting piece of feedback for how anything works is what it is that strikes people in it. Is it the thing that you expected? Is it something different? and knowing that there are a lot of different ways to interpret the different work that work kind of things that you do is important for them to learn that, hey, this thing that I thought was really important wasn't nearly as impactful as this other piece right here that everybody was really jazzed about. And so getting that kind of starter where people have the chance to really say, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about that. And you can do this, face to face, but you might want to start by building your way to it. And there's just an endless number of ways to do that. So kids can share docs with each other in small groups where they're putting these ideas down. You can create forms, in the Google world to do this. Screencasts can do it as well, so that people can really point to specific things. I really think this is cool for this reason, right? And try to get kids into that space where they're drawing some interesting connection in. That takes practice. It takes practice. And so you have to kind of be ready to go in for the long haul, but the payoff is tremendous, because once kids are really in that space of thinking about identifying great things that other kids have done and why, and can get some confidence saying that stuff, that's big. High school. All right, so now we're kind of up at the top end of the primary, secondary food chain, at least in terms of advanced age, we'll just call it. And let's talk about this from some other angles. For one, combining writing and voices. All right, so one of my favorite tools for all grade levels is Book Creator. So let's take a look at Book Creator. Here we are. All right. So what does a Book Creator screen look like? Well, you're adding text, you're adding images, you're adding links. You're like, that's just like slides, whatever. Big deal. But this ends up being part of a digital book, and it's very easy to record yourself adding some audio. You just click the little plus, you click record, and then boom, you got a little doodad there. You can do this in slides as well now, by the way. Now, the whole idea, though, is that you end up with this thing that you can share that looks like a book, right? And you do your pages this way and that way, and this kind of looks cool, right? So if what you want is to tell a story where kids are doing things like collaborating on a book, and so somebody will write something out, they will say a little bit about what they had in mind, and then they share it so that other kids can say, here's what I saw in it, and they're just recording themselves as they go. That's kind of fun. So a little free tool like Book Creator for Chrome can go a long way on that front. There are a lot of other projects out there using Book Creator, things like kids having written stories and recording themselves, actually telling the stories. If you can do this with a language pairing, if you got a bunch of French students and somewhere in French West Africa, like kids are recording their stories and telling, and they're learning English, and your kids are writing some stories in English. All that kind of thing. So lots and lots of possibilities. A lot of good buddies up in Canada. Don't get enough, Canada shout outs, going on there, who are doing some really cool things with this as well. So think about Book Creator as an option for doing this. You can also record video into it easily, kind of like Seesaw, as Susan was talking about, or any number of similar tools. And then there's social media. All right, and so social media, you're going to run into any number of issues if you're using social media that is widely used social media. Hey, we're going to do all this on Facebook. Wow, great. Keep their attention. Good luck with that. All right, but there are tools that allow you to use the advantages of social media in interesting ways. And my favorite is a newer tool. It's somewhere between alpha and beta, but it is a really cool little dude called Unruler, UNRULR. And with it, kids can post. They can identify kind of goals that are a part of it. While I was working on this piece here, and where it's being used really well, the kids are doing all kinds of encouragement with each other. Now, this does mean, right, that kids are going to be getting on to Unruler on, say, smartphones, or there's a web option as well. But as they develop this tool, this is kind of the time to get in and try it out and let them know what you think, because they are so listening to you. They are absolutely listening to you. A lot of teachers don't realize that companies that are kind of getting going in the ed tech space are just starved for people who can say, I tried this and this, I ran into a problem this way, but kids are really excited for this reason. Let them know. They will bend over backwards to help you out, because any really communicative teacher is someone that they want to know. So at any rate, give that a look. Unruler, no E. All right. So when we talk about using all of these different tools across grade levels, these ideas, these themes, we have come back again and again to the idea that if who we are as professionals are people who are taking good care of ourselves, so that we've got that extra little reserve and patience for a kid who might need it, or a colleague who might need it, so that we can say, hey, I was talking about this with regard to like this other age group, but maybe we can adapt it in this way. What do you think? That's just this important part of who we are. So let's think very specifically about taking good care of ourselves so we'll be ready for those kids and those colleagues as we go. All right. So my little nonprofit has a newsletter. I hope you'll sign up for it, in part because I give away a Starbucks card every month or more than one. Oh, but you send it out to thousands of people. I'd never win. That's what apparently a lot of people think, because very, very few people enter. So your chances are just good. The math is in your favor. So feel free to take a look. nextvista.org/newsletter. And we have, as I mentioned earlier, but I want to emphasize again, we have contests going on. And in a similar vein, oh, we can't do contests right now. Pandemic makes it tough and blah, 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 blah. Exactly. So you don't have a whole lot of competition. So if you are willing to go to a little trouble to say any kids who don't want to do this particular essay and you'd rather do a video and you can do it according to the rules on this site, go for it, which means that they may end up with a winning video because their video is better than the other two that got entered. What? Only 3 enter? I have no idea how many will be entered. But let's just say that over the last year, we have not been inundated with submissions. And then there's the service contest, right? So stories of people who make life better for others, people in the community, organizations in the community. And we love it when students learn that their storytelling skills can make a difference in the lives of others. All right, you can find info about me on my blog at rushtonh.com, rushtonh.com. I post multiple times a year, right? And hopefully you'll like what you find there. I've written some books. I'm very happy to connect with you about those ideas as well. I hope that there are things in there that might be useful to you and your colleagues. And if you ever say, hey, Rushton, could you connect with a group of us? We're kind of working on your book together. Absolutely. I'll do it for free. You just let me know. So thank you very much for being a part of what we've been doing for the last year and trying to help teachers kind of see cool possibilities for teaching online and teaching once they get back in person, or that hybrid thing that happens between the two. Eesh. All right. And we hope that there are some thoughts there that you will be quite excited about. And maybe you'll even go back into the archives on that archive page, because we got 36 episodes there, or will when we post this one. Susan, I hand it over to you.
All right, thanks, Rushton. Thank you so much for this opportunity and all of the learning. I've learned a ton, and I've enjoyed just working with you on a regular basis and giving back and giving some great ideas and learning great ideas from the people who come and join us each episode. You can find me on the internet. Reach out anytime at Tech Coach Susan. You can also find me sharing and promoting great stuff under the hashtag K2Can2, also at K2Can2@gmail.com. Reach out anytime. And of course, Rushton can hunt me down too anytime. Again, this is going to be our last episode of this series. Doesn't mean we're done working together. I really enjoy working with Rushton, and I know that we have great things that we can continue to collaborate on into the future.
Ditto that for sure. So I hope that one of the things you might get from watching this, if you are one of our regular watchers, is that you have got colleagues all over the world, right? Oh, I don't know. I only know people in my own school. You are about like one step away from connecting with people who are jazzed to share ideas in the same space you are. So the things that you find really interesting, there are other teachers out there who find it interesting as well. They might be at a different grade level, right? But no worries. The kind of cool brainstorming that can lead to great opportunities for kids comes from two people who connect and get excited about sharing ideas together. And so we hope that you will do that. You can do that through Twitter. You can do that through all kinds of different tools that are out there. You can do that through the kind of affiliates that are out there to ISTE and to the state affiliates, right? I mean, there are just lots and lots of groups where you can connect with teachers and really just gain all kinds of good energy and great ideas from it. And just like people like Susan and I get together through organizations like Q and start sharing ideas that way, we hope you will find those people in your professional lives who not only encourage you, not only give you good ideas, but just become your friend. Because friendships, that's why we're in this. That's like big key to being alive and living well, right? So thank you very much, Susan, for all of the good work you've been doing with this. Thank you, all of you who are with us at the moment, right? Who tuned in for the final one. And we hope that you will let us know what it is that for you is really interesting going forward, that you will let us know, hey, I've been trying to find X or Y or Z for a long, long time. And can you point me in the right direction? If we can, we will. If it's an idea that we want to kind of pick up and start running with, we may give that a try as well to help you out. There you have it. So for Next Vista for Learning and for K2 Can2, we want to thank you for being a part of our lives for the last year, and we hope that we will get to see you again somewhere, sometime soon. Take care.